Hi.
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 Hello.
I was trying to sort something out. Hello, greetings, namaste. Pleased
Hello,
to see you
everyone.
all.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
All is great and illustrious soul. Prasanna.
Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the poetry reading with Flamboyance, a place where poets need to share their minds. Let us hear some of your, India is celebrating, the world's largest democracy is celebrating 77th year of independence, complete marking 76 years of independence. So let's remember. So let's have a celebration of Independence Day. Indian Independence Day, of course, this world is here. One Vasudev Kutumbikam. So please welcome our next first poet who will be, singing, presenting a poem for us. Please welcome Sweetie Sharon.
Very good evening, one and all. Greetings from India. Actually, it's been a very long time since the time, I got to get connected to you all, for a week ago. So, yes, let's go to our program right now. Today I'm going to recite a poem, Lady in White, which I penned in the month of July, on the 1st of July. And here the poem goes. In a realm so celestial, there stood an angel, unaware of where she belongs, crossing too many furlongs. She appears scintillating, to an eye so appealing. One wants to have a glimpse of her beauty, putting aside their ethereal duty. She has got such an pregnance to lure anyone perchance. One feels blessed to have word with her, unmindful of sword. Alas, not everyone is blessed enough to get their dream fulfilled. Sounds dark. And everyone began praying to Almighty to grant them their hearts only satiated. Oh, so pretty, they muttered in their hearts. Glad would I be if I get a scope to clear all darts with her, not knowing that she is an angel, gallivanting on the earth for her nature so jovial, descended from heavenly abode for a jewel. She lay down upon the earth, knowing all well who might welcome her with open heart without leaving behind more scar. And it's penned by Sweetie Sharon, on the 1st of July 2023, few weeks ago, prior to this meeting. So thank you very much for having given me this opportunity to share my views, on the poem which I penned in the month of July. So thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweetie. That was so nice of you. Beautiful rendition. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Let's move on to our next poet. Our next poet is from Romania. So please welcome Bogdana, who writes always short, yet, very effective poems. Bogdana. Please welcome Bogdana Gageanu.
Hi, Kumar. Sorry for me today. I'm not so good. I have a bad cold, so at what moment if I disappear, please forgive me. But I'm not feeling so well. Still, I came as I promised. I will recite a short poem called Stains. We try to look in life without stains, to be perfect, only in white, to have clothes without stains, to have characters without stains. Stains are more alive when we try to look perfect. Thanks, Kumar, and thank you very much every time you're inviting me.
Exactly, Bogdana, so beautiful, very well said within your full lines. So beautiful, so beautiful. Please give it up for Bogdana. Let's welcome our next poet. Our next poet is from Bangalore, and she's a teacher and a social worker, and she's award-winning poet as well. Please welcome Heera Nawaz. Heera Nawaz.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
I will write to cite my poem. Actually, Teachers' Day is on 5th of September. So actually, it's about the birthday of Dr. Radha Krishnan, who was the first Prime Minister of India. So on this, about my favorite teacher, Dr. Stella Samuel, who was the principal of, I really admire her, and therefore I wrote this poem about her.
Ma'am,
An accomplished educator, Dr. Samuel is my first with brains. Dr. Samuel is an administrator, senior educator, exam supervisor, and motivational speaker who inspires generations of students by motivating them that there is always sunshine after rain. Dr. Samuel was perfect in everything she did, and she put her heart and soul and commitment in what she undertook.
seems, ma'am,
She focused not only doing graduation, she was most popular. To me, Dr. Samuel is
ma'am,
precious.
ma'am, sorry, you could not able to
I
hear.
was thrilled when she was with me on this. In the long run, hard work does pay. Dr. Samuel took very good care of her holistic health and was fit and fine even as she crossed 70 years of age. She maintained her slim and trim physique, and her mind was always razor sharp and very keen. She loved webinars and seminars and was always disseminating knowledge and reading something new. Dr. Samuel is the only principal I know who is tech savvy and is the best computer guide I have ever seen. Of an organization that hones the skill of infants. Being ambitious, she She then forayed into the arena of women. She made a brilliant start, who has been guiding students, teachers, and parents, and is now in the political scene. She's a rare human being whom the universe calls out to be a universal and revelatory part. So thank you so much, Kumar sir. I hope I can also listen to some interesting poems from poets and poetesses around the world. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We couldn't able to hear you, but then there was signal issue or something, but I couldn't just. But anyways, that's wonderful, and that was a tribute to Radhakrishnan for the first. Thank you, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Let us move across to our next poet. Our next poet is yes, a very subtle and a very sweet poet. His name is Dominic Windram. Please welcome Dominic Windram.
Thank you. Poem I'd like to read for you now is called Life is Brokenness, and I got some very good feedback about this, so I decided to read it today. Life is brokenness. Life is brokenness. Edens of total fusion are impossible. Weeds clutter the garden of the troubled psyche. Warning signs always abound in the ashes of black candles and shattered glass, randomly scattered across insidious floors of violent rooms. Cold eyes stare down from the wings of hell's theatre, hidden in the half-lit zone, and judge the sweet dreams of the innocent. We're not free. There is nowhere to hide from these searching eyes. All these eyes create strict dichotomies in time. The world is akin to a vast panopticon. Life is brokenness. Listless seagulls pick at shells on pale deserted beaches in bleak winter days. Life is brokenness. Order only exists in a dusty textbook. These looming shadows behind the gloss of summer's brief paradise, profusion of daisies, golden sunflowers reveal a flawed creation. Yet, it is one in which meaning is enhanced by way of texture, context, and contrast, like a rich painting. Or life is brokenness, but if we were born mirror images of God through ancient templates of immaculate conceptions, becoming would then be completely redundant. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Dominic. That's so beautiful. Please give it up for Dominic Windram, my dear friends. Such a beautiful poem that he rendered for us. Let's welcome our next poet. Our next poet is from, yes, she's a retired professor and she is a well-known poet and an award-winning poet as well. And she takes out anthologies. And please welcome Meenakshi Mohan. Ma'am, please turn on your mic. Meenakshi Mohan. Meenakshi Mohan, yes. Okay, let's move across to our next poet. Our next poet is considered to be a philosopher and a monk himself. So, and he's known to be, and he's extreme. Listening to him is like I always say, reading a book. So please welcome Lantern Kiranaka Manatita Hutchinson.
Thank you, my brother. I was trying to find some things for India's independence, so that I needed to prepare maybe next week. The spiritual significance of India's independence is dependence on God's will and interdependence with other countries. Most people will agree that Raja Manmohan Roy was the first one to pursue India's independence. Swami Vivekananda in his spiritual way and Rabindranath Tagore with his poetic expression also played significant roles. Soon there were others such as Tilak or Aurobindo Ghosh, Siya Das, Gandhi, Nehru, Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose, and Patel to name only a few. But the Renaissance of India began with Raja Manmohan. He was the father of modern India. Esho, 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 Prabhu, Nahi Jana Buli Kobu. That's all I know. My first poem, The Nameless Heart. Not like Kailash, sacred, majestic, breathtaking, powerful. Not the bewildering heavens blanketing the stars with grandeur above the sacred earth. Not the splendor of Taj Mahal, nor the breath that touched the tender lips of Empress Mumtaz, the magical beauty for whom it was constructed. I, my sweet-scented Shyama, you're my pinnacle of fragrances, making the rose blush in sweet sacrifice. I sought high and low, sought here and everywhere. I have trailed a zillion crevices, seeking to blend with thy allure. Deep down in the meadow of the valley of love, I saw your astonishing mantle of supernal beauty, blazing with an unspoken fire inside my nameless heart. Poem 2, A Glimpse into the Heart of Poetry. I am a spark of spirit and poetry is my own light, revealing itself in endless ways in accordance with my calling, growth, or inner development. The kindergarten child may express in rhymes, pictures, or large letters, while the scholar may show an affinity to Blake, Neruda, or Shakespearean sonnets. I know of no defining boxes in poetry, as each soul is a unique spark of love, reflecting its own experiences. Some masterpieces are born out of shootings at school, while others shed light on the disgrace of abuse. Prose, words in the best order. Poetry, the best words in the best order. Meaningful lines from Coleridge. Yet I see poetry as energies riding on the ascent of the wave's crest, just as much as in the graffiti on painted walls. It sings in the voice of the hummingbird and is adorned in a meadow of sunflowers. It is in the charred ruins of war, etched in the eyes of the hungry and dispossessed. It is in the silent hush of stillness and the lyrical delivery of eloquent words. It's in the heavy yoke of emotional traffic and the silence of the despairing. What determines good poetry? Life is a ladder of many steps, and few, if any, are on the same rung. One may be receptive to the spiritual truths of Sufi mystics. Another finds pleasure in Sunday's political satire at Hyde Park. Each soul comes with its own narrative. Some will recite nothing but love poems, others social justice, and a third group, psalms for the soul like David. Some will be heavily emotive, passionate, and impactful, using the work as therapy for the soul. It is through life experiences that I grow, according to receptivity, and this is concealed in the attire of my soul's calling, longing, or quest for fulfillment. Poetry is written on the chords of music I once knew, woven in memories, burning the anxiety of emotions. Love has given me the duality of light and darkness, joy and sorrow, as much as she gives me diversity. Her laws are in motion, providing something unique for everyone. She lingers in the tenderness of words, like fine wine, so like a phoenix, merged in flight to the aesthetic crest of rainbows and horizons. I want to trace my words in your heart, so that in time it unfurls like magnolias, kissing this world with light and beauty. To see that golden glow in the darkness, even as Orion fades or fails to emerge. I want to have a glass of wine with moonlight, my intoxication so complete that we become lovers, she starring my heart with her radiance, even as I become drunk with sweetness, repeating incessantly, more, more. Memory has its place in poetry, Yet I'm defined by my audience feelings, how each heart opens to the light and passion that I convey through this cosmic vortex of unspoken love. Are my words engaging? Do they flow like a vibrant river? Poetry is an active seed within, manifesting without, and my lips, my voice, intonation, or diction are but conduits to convey the freedom of my soul, a divine spark of a higher love, ceaselessly longing to express itself in this self-transcending journey. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Mind blowing, it's, I would say, bewitching. What a hold on your, Indian history and, a dedication and respect. I must salute you, sir. I must salute you.
Thank you,
I
thank
must
you, thank
salute
you
you.
very
And
much.
thank
I
you.
salute you too. Dhanyabad. I salute Mother India. I must not forget, independence is quite significant, and India has shown the capacity to rise with strength, valor, courage, and dauntless wisdom. And it is the home of my spiritual birth. I appreciate, I pay homage to Mother India. I pay homage to Bharat Mata and all to the great souls of sacrifice, or who have sacrificed, such as Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, and others. Sri Aurobindo in the spiritual way, Sri Ramakrishna, and all the Vedic seers and rishis who paved the way for what you are today. I thank you. Gratitude.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. Really.
We pay homage to you, sir, for bringing out the independence of India in such a beautiful way. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for moving India in such a vast form. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's move across to our next poet. Our next poet is from Israel, and he always smiles. So please welcome Isaac Cohen. And please, I request you all to not to rush yourself quitting the show or after reading, or you just have a little patience of, listening to all of the poets out here who would be there, giving out a beautiful verses. And here you are free to quit any moment if you are not interested, or you can just something like that. So please stay on. Isaac, go ahead.
Hi, dear Ma and dear friends, and happy birthday to my friends, Alexandra. Isaac Cohen, love. Your air unit our bodies like a lover's bread. And second, Isaac Cohen, love. My soul seek love like a dancer, find the minute of glory. Thank you, Isaac Cohen, Israel.
That's Isaac Cohen for you, my dear friends, from Israel. Beautifully, lovely, and decisive small points. But let me announce you, my dear friends, as it's such a coincidence that we are celebrating the Indian Independence Day, and much awaited anthology has come up, and we it is Manisha, and it's available on Amazon and also in the publisher. It's published by Others Press India, and the second anthology from Fatal Brands. So you're all part of majority of all of you are part of that book, and so proud to announce you that it's just been released.
Yeah.
So we'll have that another program also. So please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is from after he is coming after a long time, but he gives us prompts, photo prompts, and everything. So he keeps on nursing poets and inspirational words, and the word he uses is amazing. I mean, it's like please welcome Basudev Paul.
Thank you, Prasanna. Though I usually don't participate because of my interaction with the academic activities, but I try to keep in touch with you. I try to observe from a distance, but psychically I am with you. And whenever I remain absent, I feel the strength of absence. I miss the presence of the bright faces of the fertile brains. And usually on Sundays, I have several meetings, webinars and all. Still, I try to participate. And that is why I have been here. And I'm very glad to see the bright faces of the precious Pauls missing all over the world. Thank you once again. And today, I will read out a poem. The title is, Who is the Pen? A writer is the spark of inspiration. Perspiration has taught me to be. A billion lives on the tenterhooks. They're crippled to express them. A few of them has been spontaneous. Words slide down from the pen innate. They are the weapon of fomenting us. Just an apt idea or a word could wander. Even if you break your pen, you cannot pen. It needs 100% of meditation and motivation. The blank ink has the power of annihilation. It would use like a saint or for the deadliest. Not brown, but the brain makes or mars all. Mankind prays for the benevolence of pain. A gold quill awaits the millennium to dawn. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Hello.
Yes, Basu sir. Good evening. This is Laxman Rao. I find your poems like very much intricate, sir. Like at times, like they're very much tough. You are like a tough nut to crack. But this was a very much soft-spoken poem, which we could connect on a very subtle way. Thanks for reciting a beautiful poems.
Actually, many critics say I am an obscure poet.
Yeah, true.
But
yeah,
but this is my spontaneity.
Yeah.
I can't.
I agree with you, sir.
But
Quite
we
as well.
inspired. You always inspire me. So thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for presenting on the poem
Kumar
on
sir,
man.
Kumar sir, let him speak, sir, because he was talking about some of his style of poetry, like which is like obscure poetry. For some, it sounds like, looks like an absurd poetry, whereas like his poetry is something unique, which I've been observing. He has his own different style of reciting or writing a poem. Okay, so let him say a few words. I would like to listen to it, please.
Yes, sir. Please.
Vasudev sir, has he gone off?
Sir, you could unmute your mic. You could unmute your mic.
Myself?
Basudev sir, unmute your mic.
Yes. Server is disturbing me. I finished reading out my point, Prasanna. I was talking, some critics indict me as the obscure poets because the way I write now is something not intelligible by ordinary brains
True.
or the average reader. But I pine for that, but I can't help.
Yeah, true.
The very high
Absolutely.
standard because it's very much academic.
Agreed, sir.
So I can't help. Nah, that is
Not
the,
everybody connects to your style of poetry.
yes.
That much I can tell. See, as a poet, like as we evolve, like we need to keep on evolving. It's not like we are just there at the elementary school of writing. So poetry, we should it should evolve on its own. The days when we started writing poetry, and the day we are writing now, there's a lot of difference. So when we try to read out poems like yours, like we find a vast difference. So this is how, like, most of the poets, they should bring out their own poems. Like whereas in the Facebook forums, if you find, like, most of the poets are like amateur poets, or it's like elementary school poets. Like in most of them, like the prose comes in rather poetry. You might have observed this. Like the prose is the common factor for them rather the poetry. Poetry hardly find in very few poets. That's what I feel so. So what's your take on this?
Actually, readership is very low.
Low. Readership is there, sir, but
and not only that, what I have observed for all these years, people, I don't know the psychological reason, people hardly go to the depth of anything.
Yeah, true. They just have a glimpse of it.
I have seen it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and one of my senior teachers from Maharashtra, he said, Paul Saab, the way you write, your diction, your vocabs are visible in most of the poets' writings. Reflection is there. It is good. Somebody is aping me, somebody is imitating me, but yes, my writing is very difficult to imitate.
Yeah, it's very difficult for ordinary poet to grasp or else to relate to it.
But yes, if you read several rhymes, a greater truth will come out from my poems, because abstract ideas sometimes are there in my poems. Abstract.
Abstract.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You might have observed every word has got connotations.
Yeah, thank you, Basudev sir. Thank you for sharing your views on poetry, and thank you, Laxman sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to our next poet. Next poet is she's she's a brilliant poet, and she was there on BBC too. So please welcome Nataraja MM.
You. I'm to share two poems today. First one, Garden View from my collection. The quiet calm out here when the world is shut down, and the breaths of sound, frost in the cold night air, amber top windows in a silhouetted house warm the dark. A plume of gold sparks slips into the night like an amorous spouse. Both windows lit by Chinese lanterns, a Virgil of luminous stares, gazing fondly at human tears, knowing at any time fortunes could turn. Twitching curtains coyly wink, outstretched twiggy arms, reaching, their longing for the light, beseeching, crisp fingers clutching at life's twinkling. The darkened window below, cloaked in feral bushes, a black-veined mesh pushes against the light's intrusive glow. Inky foliage figures stenciled on black, rough winds crackle and stir, open palm leaves audibly cheer. Midnight sentry, braced for attack. An agile relieve of feline shadows skip on moss-peaked garden sheds. Gaunt branches curl around them in threads. Civet tiptoes along the hedge. A roof in assorted chimney top hats, each with spindly aerial arms, looming over the eerie calm. Matchstick soldiers in ghostly combat. In the black, the mind pollutes the track, concealing the way back, bending as relenting resolve cracks. Shadows and their masters join forces, covertly colluding with the night, dismantling, dominating the light. An onyx, temporary respite, putting to bed human life and its discourses. Thank you. The second piece is a piece which is going to be published in Jackdaw magazine, and I will share that piece with you now. I am on the beach in my two-piece, marked as the outsider. I am the galling gorilla, the woman perched in the tree, observing the life that does not include me, my flesh immodestly on display, stalked by the eyes who desire and dismay, who deem the emperor's clothes without chastity. I saunter past the stare of men in cafes, exuding confidence in a figure-hugging dress, not worthy of respect, just good for sex, muttering lewd comments before kneeling to pray. The cross covered with daggers in their eyes, who forgo the sisterhood for patriarchy. We both struggle, so why do you wound me, Akhti, when I flock to your bosom across seas and skies? I am Tom Bombadil, sprouting legs out of the earth, crossing the expanse to bloom far from home. My fibers composed of your soil's cake alone, but you admonish the mannerisms of my birth. My derija, littered with the crude converse of women of the night, my cigarette shamelessly alight, uncompelled to defend or prove. I am the bitter sweetness of nos nos, a bitter pill to swallow, still you gag on the sweet. I cannot be devalued by the glares that I meet. I am carved from the stone which gathers no moss. Thank you.
Wow, brilliant ending lines, Naima. That was Naima Chimchon for you, my dear friends. What a brilliant poem she presented. Please give it up for Naima Chimchon.
You.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for coming. Please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is a retired, army personnel. He's a veteran army man, and he's a lieutenant colonel who served in the army, and he's he was a witness to the wars and all. So please welcome Gopal Purdhani. Sir, unmute. Please unmute. Sir, might unmute करिएगा please.
प्रसन्ना जी
जी
आपने कुछ फरमाया
जी आप
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि we had been listening to beautiful English poetry today, and I am the one who is going to start in Hindi. And Hindi poetry or Urdu poetry, we can say Hindustani poetry, in that direct and the easiest to grasp are the rubai. उर्दू में उनको कता भी कहा जाता है, हिंदी में उनको बोलते हैं छांद. These are the 4 liners. मैं अर्ज करूंगा, सबसे बड़ा ऑब्जर्वर कौन है? आसमान. किस कदर बेबसी से तक रहा है आसमान. मजबूरी से कह लीजिए, कैसे भी कह लीजिए, किस कदर बेबसी से तक रहा है आसमान. नजर हर शय पर है, जुबान पर कुछ भी नहीं. आसमान बोलता नहीं, कुछ आपको क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करता, कुछ आपको समझाता नहीं, आपको खुद ही समझना है. तो आपके अंदर से निकला हुआ ख्याल ही पोइट्री है. तो वो 4 लाइनर्स मैं अर्ज कर रहा हूं कि किस कदर बेबसी से तक रहा है आसमां. नजर हर शाह पे है, जुबान पर कुछ नहीं. इस धरती है, इस धरती पर ही है खुशी हर बशर की. इंसान को खुशी चाहिए तो यही मिलेगी. आसमां पर कुछ नहीं, आत्मा कुछ भी नहीं. तो दिस वाज द फर्स्ट वन. फिर मैं अर्ज करूंगा कि ना उड़ाओ चिंगारियां नफरत की आग से. आजकल जो लोग कर रहे हैं, ना उड़ाओ चिंगारियां नफरत की आग से. अरे क्या खोजते हो तुम अपने जख्मों के दाग से. क्या खोजते हो तुम अपने तो जख्मों के दाग से. अंधेरे में किसी को कभी राह नहीं मिलती. थर्ड लाइनर है कि अंधेरों में कभी किसी को राह नहीं मिलती, और रोशन करो रास्तों को दोस्ताना चिराग से. दोस्ती के चिराग जलाओ, सब तरफ पीस रहे, आनंद रहेगा, प्यार रहेगा. एक और छोटा सा है कि आज के भयानक युग में जंग के बादल छा रहे हैं. ताकत के भूखे इंसान गुस्से में चिल्ला रहे हैं. ऐसे में बस शांति ही उम्मीद है एक उनसे. ऐसे में कहाँ शांति मिलेगी? ऐसे में शांति की उम्मीद है उनसे जो कवि और गीतकार अमन के गीत गा रहे हैं. ये उन्हीं से मिल सकते हैं. ये जो ग्रुप है, ये जो सभी कविताएं सुना रहे हैं, उन्हीं से मिल सकती है और कहीं से नहीं मिल. तो एक और ख्याल है, अर्ज कर रहा हूँ, सजेस्ट कर रहा हूँ अपनी एज की खातिर, कि रिश्तों में प्यार की मिठास मिला के रखना. रिश्तों में प्यार की मिठास मिला के रखना. अपनों को बहुत ही खास बना के रखना. परिवार संसार की प्यार है जिंदगी, भरोसे को सदा आधार बना के. अगर भरोसा नहीं करेंगे आपको, तो आपको कुछ नहीं मिल सकता. अगर नहीं बढ़ सकते, रिश्ता नहीं बना सकते. कि तेरी चाहत में बहुत बेकरार है दिल. तेरी चाहत में बहुत बेकरार है दिल. भगवान करे सुन रहे हो कि तेरी चाहत में बहुत बेकरार है दिल. हाल पूछोगे इसीलिए बीमार है दिल. कभी तो हाल पूछने आओगे, इसलिए बीमार है दिल. अपनी खुशी की तुम कीमत तो बोलो, हर कीमत देने को तैयार है दिल. अगर आप एक और छोटा सा कथा बोलने की इजाजत दें कि गुजरी जाती है घड़ी उनके आने की. गुजरी जाती है घड़ी उनके आने की. आया चाहती है घड़ी रूठ जाने की. अब तो हमें उस घड़ी का है इंतजार, उनके मनाने और हमारे मान जाने. अब तो हमें अब उस घड़ी का है इंतजार. 3 घड़ियां ये 3 घड़ियां जिंदगी में होती हैं कि गुजरी जाती है घड़ी उनके आने की। 6 बजे बोल रहा था, ये पूरे बज गए। आया चाहती है घड़ी रूठ जाने, एक भी सेकंड हो गया मैं रूठ जाऊंगी। अब तो उस घड़ी का है इंतजार हमें, उनके मनाने और हमारे मान जाने। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपके दोस्तों की कविताएं सुन के बड़ा दिल खुश जाता है, खिल जाता है। तो सन्ना जी, आपके तो दर्शन करके खिल जाता है।
बहुत खूब सर, बहुत काश मैं भी आपकी तरह लिख पाता। बहुत खूब सर, बहुत गहराई है आपकी कविताओं में, बहुत गहराई है। धन्यवाद सर उस प्रेरणा के लिए। आप जो हमेशा आते रहते हो और you spell out those poetic verses for us. That itself is motivating and inspiring. Thank you sir,
बड़ा
thank
अच्छा
you,
लगा।
we love you, we love you, we love you.
नमस्कार।
Thank you sir. Up next is yes, let's Alexandra Psaropoulou. Please welcome our next poet from Greece, who writes brilliant, and she have this graphic painting that goes along with poem. So please welcome Alexandra Psaropoulou.
Hi, are you sharing in a different way? Because okay, can you see all the graphics going by?
Yes.
Can you can see the pages turning, right?
Right.
It's not stuck on the cover.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to make sure that you can see the graphics going by.
I could just see one page, but
okay, so then you're sharing your screen in a different way, Kumar. You changed the way you share the screen. Okay.
No,
Are you
you're sharing? I haven't changed anything. It is same as earlier. And it's like
okay. Can you see the graphics going by now?
Yes.
Like now it's moving, right? It's not stuck.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry about that. Flying 17. Okay. This light is mine. It is hyper-physical, illuminating in the golden tenderness of a poetic heart, discerning and choosing amongst inherited traits of Zeusian cultivation and Cronian egoism, along the exploration of an inner dialectic synthesis, indulging and abstaining, desecrating and purging, endeavoring to optimize our emotional mindset, attempting to restore ourselves and our earth from polluting elements. Our burnt terrains, our mountaintops, haloed by rose dawns and rose dusks, bridging the gap between immutable firm ideals and capricious shady senses. On auroral mountaintops, enslaved worms transforming into quivering, resurrected butterflies, goldwing after goldwing. This zone is mine. It is releasing, leaping in the contemplative homage of a philosophic mind, intuiting and electing amongst dynamical antinomies of clear-winged visualization and cyclopic blindness, along the mission of ideamorphed Daedalian inventions, upheaving Minoan waves, bursting forth from a pyroclastic flow of Aegean DNA. Frontier warriors anxious to restore our eco-formations, lands are our lands, our seas, our seven skies, 7 times blue, adjusting to natural and supernatural cosmic purposes. Our goes bow breaking into a sky sea of all-going, silverware after silver wave. This union is mine. It is aura bonding, intensifying in the fiery sovereignty of an ascetic fulfillment, filtering and selecting amongst labyrinthine channels of Persephonic magnanimity and Tartarian beastliness, along the polymorphic emeralding of each individual unfolding, line hearts and line minds, emancipating from lower and middle ranking hierarchies, in joyous exemption from demons and illusions, from resistance and time. Evolved phosphoric suns activating towards the east, devolved dim spheres deactivating towards the west, delineating photodynamic and aphotic positions in dimorphic order. Sunborn unrestrained vibrancy dawning into our caves, luminiferous ether dazzling, vivid flame after vivid flame. This truth is mine. It is envisaging, polyvibrating in the vivifying fountain of pan-human axioms, clarifying and correcting amongst antithetic consciousnesses of trained logos and untrained thumos, along the reshaping of each new age, aspiring to rise into advanced halcyon apogees, formed by prime pan-universal rearrangements, superpositioned apotheosis, sending exalting poetico philosophy to torchbearers. Eris's nostalgia, tuning into the eurythmic heartbeat of thriving ascending astric galaxies, balancing on a symbiosis of cataclysmic and epiphanic laws of creation. Dodecahedron galaxies overflowing with humans and gods, reaching the borders of zenith beyond, after zenith beyond. This sweet flying is ours. It is absolute, emblazoning in the progression of the idea, the pan-fiery great idea. Thank you, namaste. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day, Alexandra, but I must tell you that the words that have been used in the poem is, I need to refer the dictionary, but that was so amazing, beautiful, wow. Very wonderful wordsmithing. Thank you. That was Alexandra for you, my dear friends. Please give it up for her poems. Up next is, Scott Norman Rosenthal. Please welcome Scott or Norman Rosenthal.
Let's see here. Hello.
Hello.
Obama and the women of Libya. The evil dictator, at least for this month, is crushed by the falling sky. The women smothered, jets return home. The people's home is given to our sworn murderers. The women of Libya wear their veils. What about ours? That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for coming. Thank you. That was powerful. That was a thought-provoking one. In fact, I would say. Plus, thank you for coming. Yeah, please give it up for Scott, please, and please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is joining for us for the first time. She's an young poet. I think she writes so beautifully. I know Divya Singh. Yes, she's from Chandigarh. Please welcome Diya Singh.
Hello everyone, my name is Diya Singh and I'm from Chandigarh. I wish to recite my poem. As we all know, India's Independence Day is round the corner on 15th August 2023. So from a new perspective, I have written the poem about the daughter of a soldier and her experience. That we all know, everyone feels proud that he's an army, her father is an army man. So what she feels, it's about this from her perspective. So the poem's name or title is A Warrior's Offspring. I recall completely, but it seems as if no one is certain of me. I grew up with my mother aside, hearing all her stubble prayers and holy cries. Before bed, by the lords, and on the ringing of every distressed call. I barely see my dad. He is protecting the country, is the cause I hear forever. The break from his service is even shorter than my school summer holidays. Even today, all I can exchange is letters and text messages, beholding the love so dear. I bet he doesn't even remember my class. It's such a pity to be the one he cares so deeply while having just a minute of his to have his unlimited attention for me. Every holiday is a reminder of him, every family picnic incomplete, with every PTM gloomy. When all the students see their parents clapping on school functions, I stand in a corner. I know that his job is important and tedious of all. While others gloat at him, taking pride for his will, I feel disappointed because I didn't get to choose any of this. All my childhood pictures are a witness of his absence. Holi, Diwali, Christmas, New Year, and even my birthday, all are left to reconsider. While people see national channels for patriotism, I see it for remembrance, so that I may remember the face I am waiting for. Now let's see. From my perspective, even I am a warrior, an unnamed fighter, having sores and blisters plentiful, plights to consider, countless in all, but nothing close to anyone's validation. Even now, when I have grown up, I can still sense the same emptiness and longing for my dad. I definitely know that I love him, but all at the end, the question remains the same. Does my dad even love me? Whom do you think he will choose, me or his duty of all? If all is at stake, will he have the courage to choose the right and betray the wrong? It's so long, so alone. Looks like even I can be an unsung warrior of the darkness I had experienced and defeated. That's all. Thank you.
Excellent, Diya. Diya, beautiful. You really are, yeah, unsung hero, no doubt about it. Please, you could tell more about yourself and share your social network details so other could follow you, or it's like, how do you find this platform and all these things.
My name is Diya. I am pursuing my second year of BSc Psychology from DAV College in Chandigarh from Sector 10. And I live with my family, and I'm currently 19 years old, although it seems that I am recently an adult, but it's quite tiring, for everything. You have to try and be in a certain circle. So yeah, it's kind of a different experience for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, lots of blessings. And all those who are here, should be showering blessings on you. Please do come often and keep writing, keep inspiring, keep motivating. That was a wonderful poem in your perspective, so beautiful, and everybody enjoyed it. Please give it up for Diya. Please give it up for Diya.
Thank you,
Diya.
everyone.
Thank you, love you, thank you. Please, up next we have another poet who joined our platform first time. So please welcome. Her name is Ma'am Joscephine. Joscephine, please correct me and please go ahead with your poem and introduce yourself as well.
Good evening. Do you hear me well?
Yes, yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. My name is pronounced Joscephine. Joscephine Gomez. I am from the Philippines. I actually run a number of careers. How do I begin? But I'd like you to only know me now as a poet, as a writer, as an editor, and co-author of some books, and a translator into several languages. Anyway, for now, that's what I want you to know. But there's a lot more for you to know, which I will reveal in the future. Okay, I shall begin with a poem for India. Okay, let me see, just a minute. I lost it. Just a moment. All right, this is a collaboration written last year by yours truly and a poet from India, Arvind Sharma. The title is India, Blessed Land. The first two stanzas are mine, and I will tell you later which part is from Arvind Sharma. Okay, I shall begin now. Hail to Shakyamuni Buddha, enlightened in Bodh Gaya. Hail to Padmasambhava, the second Buddha from Odhyana. Jai, land of birth of Atisha, Vasubandhu and Asanga, the birthplace of Nagarjuna, who expounded in Prajna Paramita. The profound practice of Mahayana was developed in India by Shantideva. Yoga is a practice so very Indian. Buddhist scriptures, before being read in Tibetan, were first written in Sanskrit, the language of the sacred elite. The non-killing and non-eating of animals has long been recorded in its history's annals. Now comes the stanzas of Arvind Sharma. The symbol of duty, sacrifice, service, and dedication. The tricolor that flutters is the pride of our nation. It represents our sovereignty and end of slavery, the hard-earned independence, blood, sacrifice, and bravery. The fragrant air of freedom that we now breathe is gifted by some sung and unsung heroes indeed, who sacrificed their lives on the altar of motherland, so that prosperity and peace make India grand. How can we forget the speeches of Bai, Pal, and Lal, Satyagraha and Ahimsa Mahatma Gandhi's clarion call? Vande Mataram and Rang de Basanti's potent slogans aroused the patriotism of a sleeping nation. Preserving our independence is a difficult task. Rise above the banners of religion, regions, and caste. Enemies from in and out are ready with poisonous arrows, tempted again and again to devour the golden sparrow. Independence Day promises us a prosperous tomorrow. Jai Hind Jai. That's the end of my first poem.
Thank you.
Shall I recite the second one?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. The title is the title is No R.I.P. Please. Of what use is R.I.P. if one is gone and the body is left lifeless, immovable, and useless? No physical body to get tired. The mind won't too, though still alive. To Callias ones, farewell. To doctor friends, be well. To teachers kind, please come to the tribute, all and one. Write not of things my studies don't agree with, like going up to meet the Creator, which has no scriptural basis, and reuniting with dear ones departed, whose destination you know not. A 16-hour concert will be produced. Don't worry, I won't sing. Friends and relatives will. My students will each display his skill. I wish my friend Emlyn can direct it. But I, a Buddhist, will be pleased if she limits to once her saying, in Jesus' name, and joins in reciting the Sukhavati prayer. To whoever I at that time cherish, it is my dearest wish that he speaks of me in praise, though lacking we may be in bonding days, remembering foremost my mindfulness in keeping my vows, as Genyan, if I do not a nun become. As I love words, sweet words, please say, though painful it may be, that during my lifetime you stingy be with words I long for, please give me. Music performed shall be varied in genre and languages. May all delight in them, remembering I once sang them. Yes, I did. This time I shall listen without applauding. You shall, however, be blessed for willingly performing.
Wow, Josephine, first time yet. That was so powerful and yeah, brilliant. What would I say? Yes. Please give it up for Josephine. Thank you, Josephine. Please to come often and share your wonderful verses. Thank you.
Thank you
Please.
very much for inviting me here, for allowing me to be here, Prasanna. Thank you very much that I'm meeting wonderful poets. To be honest about it, be very honest about it. I'm always honest, by the way, with my words. But this is the first time that I am in a group of very good poets who at the same time perform very well. I am very happy that I left the party I was in, right away. I was there only for a short while to eat, and then I left. I said I have a very important engagement with international poets. I didn't realize it was going to be this beautiful. Thank you, Prasanna, and everybody.
Thank you. I should be saying thank you on behalf of entire team of retail brands and group of members. You could join on WhatsApp with us. So thank you, Josephine. Thank you for
You're
coming.
most welcome. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Up next is is a wonderful poet, a very beautiful soul, Ronnie Tucker. Ronnie.
Hello, how you doing? I want to first say Happy Independence Day, and I'm gonna read another one, but I'll probably go off screen while I'm reading it, Kumar. So just bear with me. I'll be right back. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ronnie, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. I got like a one that's it's not a real short one, but if I got time, you can tell me. If not, I got a short one after it. But if this is too long, just let me know. Okay. I wrote it last week, and I think it kind of was one of the best I've done, last week. So it's called Only Hieronymus Bosch Knows. And he was a painter, and I think he lived in the 14th century or something. I can't remember. But he had a vision, I guess, a dream, and he painted his dream where he saw heaven and hell. And this is basically what I wrote. Okay, it starts soundscapes so real, or so surreal, that bite and they feel like vivid images on canvas, bleeding in watercolors, tears. So melancholy and on display. Words streaming echoes of a tortured poet in constant battle within his own self. Chaotic verses shuffled in reverse, yet so colorful and mystical. They are the backwards messenger, even if the message is beyond understanding. Into the garden of delight we call our home, in the prophetic mind only. Hieronymus Bosch knows. He tasted a little of heaven and hell in his madness. So perfect his landscapes of conception, so subliminal and yet so perfect was his creation. evolving in constant motion, an architect to spiritual host of the spheres, floating in us, the dwellers' brain cells, paying our homage to the metallic tongues who are only whispered in metaphors, paying lip service to the dying gods who take their last grasp in the shelter of their plateaus. We are only machines of the flesh, so be careful with that sickle, my friend, for it reaps what is sown. In cathedrals of divinity shire the moods of many devils. Who are they but the busiest of creatures in a different state of mind? Who is alone but the golden-haired angel whose radiance shines in the firmaments as she gazes out the window of heaven? It's so cold and spaceless, for darkness shrouds it like a blanket as sapphires burn and eyes so distant, conspiring in meaningless decay. At the end of the cauldron awaits us. We quench our thirst on the soundscapes so surreal, so melodic yet so melancholy, the taste of bitter dregs. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let somebody else go because that was kind of long. And that way we could speed it along a little bit.
Brilliant, 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 Ronnie. What a beautiful writer. I would not just
I
kind
don't
of
know where they come from. They just
very
come.
kind of philosophical and spiritual as well. So beautiful. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, and thanks to all these one. I'm just glad I didn't follow Lantern or Alexandra. They were hard to follow.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. Up next, we have we have been joined by a new poet. Please welcome Renu Gupta. Please, ma'am, please turn on your mic and video as well. Renu Gupta. Please welcome Renu Gupta, the first time to our platform. Ma'am, kindly turn on your mic. Renu Gupta. Renu Gupta. Yes, maybe some network issue. Let us move to our next poet. Our next poet is the one coming after a long time, and she is a brilliant poet. She writes so beautifully in Hindi, and she's very, well noted in poet from Madhya Pradesh. So please welcome Reema Rai Singh. Reema Rai Singh, please turn on your mic.
Namaskar, everyone. I am Reema Rai Singh, a poet from Mumbai, Maharashtra.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mumbai, Maharashtra. I will reciting a heartfelt Hindi poem titled "Moom Ho Rahe Hain." Thank you, Prasanna ji, for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. मोम हो रहे हैं जब से तुम्हें है देखा, जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रहे हैं, जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रहे हैं, पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं, पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं, हलचल भी बढ़ गई है, हलचल भी बढ़ गई है सूनी शहर में दिल के, हलचल भी बढ़ गई है सूनी शहर में दिल के, इडली बना के हमको वो रोम हो रहे हैं, इडली बना के हमको वो रोम हो रहे हैं, जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रही हैं, पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं, धड़कन भी बढ़ रही है और नींद भी है गायब, धड़कन भी बढ़ रही है और नींद भी है गायब, उल्फत में उनकी हम तो बेहोश हो रहे हैं, जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रही हैं, पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं। न खुद की कुछ खबर है, ना खुद की कुछ खबर है, ना पता है उनका। न खुद की कुछ खबर है, ना पता है उनका। हमको जहर बना के खुद सोम हो रहे हैं। हमको जहर बना के खुद सोम हो रहे हैं। जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रहे हैं। पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं। दिल पर रहा न काबू, दिल पर रहा न काबू, ना दिमाग पर पकड़ है। दिल पर रहा न काबू, ना दिमाग पर पकड़ है। लगता है जैसे खुद से विलोम हो रहे हैं। लगता है जैसे खुद से विलोम हो रहे हैं। जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रहे हैं। पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं। चेहरे पे नूर ऐसा, चेहरे पे नूर ऐसा, आंखें नहीं ठहरती। चेहरे पर नूर ऐसा, आंखें नहीं ठहरती। लगते हैं इतने पावन कि ओम हो रहे हैं। लगते हैं इतने पावन कि ओम हो रहे हैं। मेरे मन का सब कोलाहल, मेरे मन का सब कोलाहल अब शांत हो रहा है। हमको बना के लक्ष्मी वो हरिओम हो रहे हैं। हमको बना के लक्ष्मी वो हरिओम हो रहे हैं। जब से तुम्हें है देखा मदहोश हो रहे हैं। पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं। पत्थर बने हुए थे अब मोम हो रहे हैं।
वाह 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 वाह, क्या बात है, क्या बात है, बाप रे बाप।
धन्यवाद प्रसन्ना जी।
You are like talking to us. So that is the beauty of the poem. You need the express it through gestures and kind of things. So that's what they added the beauty of the poem. The reading is what I meant. So beautiful, Reema ji, so beautiful. Thank you.
छोटा सा एक और बोलना चाहूंगी। 15 अगस्त है, इंडिपेंडेंस डे है, तो एक छोटी सी कविता मैं रखना चाहूंगी। ये हमारे जो प्रहरी हैं, हमारे देश के जो प्रहरी हैं, जो हमारे हीरो हैं, उनके लिए, जो हमारे सेना के जवान हैं, उनके लिए एक छोटी सी एक कविता लिखी है मैंने। अमन चैन से रहिए मेरे वतन के लोगों, अमन चैन से रहिए मेरे वतन के लोगों। सीमा पर हम डटे हैं, हर हाल में खड़े हैं। सीमा पर हम डटे हैं, हर हाल में खड़े हैं। कितना भी ठंड हो मौसम, कितनी भी सर्द हो रातें, कितना भी ठंड हो मौसम, कितनी भी सर्द हो रातें। चाहे तपती दोपहरी हो या बरस रहे हो बादल, जंगल से हो गुजरना या कांटों से उलझे दामन, खानी हो चाहे गोली या कफन में हो लिपटना, चाहे लौट के ना आए अपने घर को यारो, चाहे लौट के ना आए अपने घरों को यारो, चाहे फिर न मुस्कुराए गले मौत को लगाए। हम आपके हैं प्रहरी, माँ भारती के रक्षक, अमन चैन से रहिए मेरे वतन के लोगों। धन्यवाद।
Befitting tribute and befitting appeal on Independence Day. Beautiful, ma'am, beautiful. Thank you for that social dedication on the nation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Reema, ma'am. Thank you for coming after a long gap. Yes, please do come often and keep inspiring.
Thank you
Up
so
next,
much, everyone.
we have Ji, thank you. Sorry to continue. Let us please welcome our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, she's our mentor of Recital Brains. Please welcome Dr. Rupali Sakalgar.
Good evening, everybody. And good evening, Prasanna, and many congratulations to the Fertile Brain for bringing out your magnum opus, the Manushatvam, the Song of Humanity. Many of you have contributed to this book. Even if you haven't, please buy it on Amazon. It will be something that the children and many other people will just love to read. So we will, need to start reading some of those poems in your next program. At least one poem, Prasanna, every program we must start reading. We should do something interesting. Now, because we are at the, almost on the eve of Independence Day, I do want to first just read out a few lines that our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, read out on the night of the before independence. And this is very moving. You can hear it also perhaps on YouTube, but I'll just read out a few lines. Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny. And now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. A moment comes, which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. The ambition of the greatest man of our generation, that's Mahatma Gandhi, has been to wipe every tear from every eye. That may be beyond us, but so long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will not be over. So that's why your book Manishattam, Prasanna, is going to be very useful. So long our work will not be over. And so we have to labor and to work and work hard to give reality to our dreams. Those dreams are for India, not only for India, but they are also for the world. So this is what are great visionaries. And when we read the biographies and stories of our freedom fighters, we realize to criticize them or not to thank them for what they went through, the kind of torture, the kind of terrible conditions in which they were incarcerated. We need to thank all those men and women, all those soldiers, all those people who gave up their lives so that we could make our today beautiful. Now I'll read a poem called Peace and Liberty. This is dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi. Peace and liberty, the salt of life. If you remember the Salt March, those of you who are Indians and the others also know that he marched to Dandi, a place called Dandi in Gujarat, where they were really beaten up and tortured, but they still went ahead and made salt. They didn't want to pay the tax. In the bustling, hurried, harried city, Ahmedabad in Gujarat, stands a serene, tranquil place. Here the river Sabarmati flows quietly to the place of peace, a peace that passeth understanding. From Sabarmati ashram, they walked 241 miles away to Dandi. They walked 24 blistering days till they reached the vast salt pits where the Arabian Sea quietly laps its sandy shores. These men wore hand-spun clothes, led by a bony, thin man, all bare-bodied, a man whom we now call Mahatma. It was for liberty alone that they were breaking the shackles of bondage. They churned the salt of liberty, liberty which is the salt of life, resisting with tranquility the wrath of violence as the hammer of sticks rained on their backs. They were truth marchers. They were all satyagrahis. The exhausted hands of bloody violence pleaded for pardon and release, and insane power fell silent before the might of peace. How much can you beat anybody? And these people just went one after the other. They kept falling down. You should read about them, maybe their pictures. Hail lawbreaker, true the nightingale of India, that's Sarojini Naidu. When an ordinary man called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, when an ordinary man called Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi bent and scooped a fistful of forbidden salt, he performed an extraordinary act. In that sacred moment, we, the people of India, claimed our inalienable rights to humanity, liberty, and peace. Thank you so much. So this is the story of our freedom struggle. We must keep reading it, and there are divisive voices coming today in our society. We all are aware of it. Please don't join them. Resist them. Resist those divisive voices. We are not interested in anybody's religion, in anybody's caste, in anybody's community. God has given us 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 ears to everybody. Thank you so much.
And the thought of day goes, yes, we're all one. And that is what it's meant to be. And yes, it is called Manushatvam. It is not Manushatvam, it's
Manushatvam.
Manushatvam. And the opposite of it is Amanushatvam. Manushatvam, opposite is Amanushatvam. This is Sanskrit word. It's a larger, broader meaning of it. So thank you, my dear friends. Thank you. That was Dr. Rupali Sarkar Gaur ma'am, who was, given out a wonderful dedication and tribute to all the freedom fighters who given us freedom and independence. But yes, we all are, in the name of, faith and whatever, and we see very much of turbulence going on in the minds and people across, so much to talk about, but again we have got limited time, but we'll discuss about it later. So thank you, ma'am. That was really thought-provoking. Yes, we should always try to be human and rise by lifting others. That is what we should keep the slogan as always. So no matter, no faith, no gender, no race, no caste. Mulya Elha is up next. Please welcome Mulya Elha. Thank you, Dr. Rupali ma'am. That was Dr. Rupali ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prasanna.
Hello, everyone. It's been 2 weeks on it here. Okay. Allow me to read 2 poems today, because this August is our Independent Days too, and I'm a little surprised that India. So congratulations. Oh wait, I will read in Indonesian poem. It's written by wait. His name is Taufik Ismail. So the title is Kita adalah pemilik sah Republik ini. Tidak ada pilihan lain. Kita harus berjalan terus. Karena berhenti atau mundur berarti hancur. Apakah akan kita jual keyakinan kita dalam pengabdian tanpa harga? Atau maukah kita duduk satu meja dengan para pembunuh tahun yang lalu? Dalam setiap kalimat yang berakhiran, "Duri tuanku," tidak ada lagi pilihan lain. Kita harus berjalan terus. Kita adalah manusia bermata sayu yang di tepi jalan mengacungkan tangan untuk oplet dan bus yang penuh. Kita adalah berpuluh juta yang bertahun hidup sengsara. Dipukul banjir, gunung api, kutub, dan hama. Dan bertanya-tanya, inikah yang namanya merdeka? Kita yang tidak punya kepentingan dengan 1000 slogan dan 1000 pengeras suara yang hampa suara. Tidak ada lagi pilihan lain. Kita harus berjalan terus. Okay, that is my first poem, and for the second one is in English, but it's okay. Wait. I believe in many things, in God and what we are. Looking to the future awaits a shining star. Life is not a happening, but planned long ago. Each one pays restitution for the seed we sow. I believe after the rain, the sun will brightly shine. Everyone must stop, bow their hearts sometimes. I believe if we enter, someone will smile on us for sure. Love is something that will last long after this life has passed. Reminding faithful we will receive showers of happiness. I believe by Heera Burns. Thank you.
We love your singing, Mulya. You have a long way to go. Just read history. So you are just still a girl, so you could just gather there history around the world and investigate. So much has been gone into. So thank you, Mulya. Thank you for presenting your 2 poems, one in Indonesian language and one in English language as well. And we love your singing. Thank you. Sylvia Ang is up next. So please welcome Sylvia Ang from Singapore. Unmute your mic, Sylvia.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back, and thank you, Kumar Pasana, for inviting me. Yeah, I'm very sorry that I need to rush because I have to wake up before 5 a.m. to go to work. Okay, this one I just written is a little bit different style. It is at this table where deals are strike, mountains are conquered, and battle are fought. And is at this table where marriage are made. Love is sealed, hearts are entwined, Jesus are sealed. It is at this table where babies are made, offspring are born, and baby food are named. That's why all short one.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you. Thanks for coming. And yes, that was Sylvia, my dear friends. Please keep that for Sylvia. Beautiful writer. Yes, we have been joined by a new poet as on first time on Fertile Brains. And yes, she is always active on Neelam Saxena page. And she's, yes, she just has, we just listened to her daughter's performance, in this perspective, that's what she mentioned as. But yes, please welcome Dr. Manju Singh.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, Diya, she recited her poem in English. I'm going to recite in Hindi. So I hope this is allowed. Hindi. Reema ji has already recited, that's why. All right. So this is the poem that I composed. Like this is a kind of like poem which is talking about or which is showing the hypocrisy there in the society. So here I'm asking God to be beware of men. How the God needs to fear of men. तो भगवान को कैसे इंसानों से डरना चाहिए वो मैं बता रही हूँ और क्यों डरना चाहिए. अपने बंदों से डर ए दुनिया बनाने वाले, अपने बंदों से डर ए दुनिया बनाने वाले, गुनाह करके इल्जाम तुझ पर न लगा दें ये जमाने वाले. क्योंकि ऐसा होता है कुछ भी गलत हुआ तो ये भगवान की वजह से हुआ, अच्छा हुआ तो हमने किया. अपने बंदों से डर ए दुनिया बनाने वाले, गुनाह करके इल्जाम तुझ पर न लगा दें ये जमाने वाले. देख दुनिया का तेरी क्या हाल कर दिया मैंने. देख दुनिया का तेरी, मतलब एक इंसान भगवान से कहता है कि देख दुनिया का तेरी क्या हाल कर दिया मैंने, इतना मांगा कि तुझे कंगाल कर दिया मैंने. धरती को कंगाल कर दिया, देखिए कितना एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया है, मिनरल सारे खत्म होते जा रहे हैं। देख दुनिया का तेरी क्या हाल कर दिया मैंने, इतना मांगा तुझे कंगाल कर दिया मैंने। बहुत हसीन थी ये दुनिया कभी मेरे बिना, बहुत हसीन थी ये दुनिया कभी मेरे बिना, तूने मुझको क्या बनाया बवाल कर दिया मैंने। अपने बंदों से डर है दुनिया बनाने वाले, गुनाह करके इल्जाम तुझ पर न लगा दें ये जमाने वाले। मैं बहारों को पेड़ों से जुदा करता हूँ, आजकल पेड़ ही नहीं है तो बाहर कहाँ से आएगी। मैं बहारों को पेड़ों से जुदा करता हूँ, ना खुदा हूँ हर बात में खुदा खुदा करता हूँ। नाम रिलीजन का लेके कुछ भी करो। मैं बहारों को पेड़ों से जुदा करता हूँ, ना खुदा हूँ हर बात में खुदा खुदा करता हूँ। सैर करता हूँ यूं तो मैं आसमानों में, बटा रहता हूँ धर्म रंग और जुबानों में। डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किसी भी नाम पे करवा दी। मैं बहारों को पेड़ों से जुदा करता हूँ, ना खुदा हूँ हर बात में खुदा खुदा करता हूँ। सैर करता हूँ यूं तो मैं आसमानों में, बटा रहता हूँ रंग धर्म और जुबानों में। तूने एहसास भरा दिल दिया, दी सैकड़ों बज़ें मुस्कुराने के लिए। मैं अपना चैन बेचकर बेचैन हूँ चैन पाने के लिए। मेरी लकड़ी थी, मेरी माचिस थी, मेरे ही हाथ थे मेरे घर को जलाने वाले। गुनाह करके इल्जाम तुझ पर न लगा दें ये जमाने वाले। अपने बंदों से डर ए दुनिया बना। तो ये मेरी छोटी सी पेशकश आप लोगों के सामने। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
ब्रिलियंट मैम, हम खुदा खुदा करता हूँ, बेचैन हूँ बेच के चैन बेच के बेचैन हूँ मैं।
चैन बेचैन हूँ चैन पाने के।
चैन
ये
पाने
देखो चैन, हाँ चैन बेच कर ही जाते हैं और बेचैन रहते हैं और सोचते हैं कि हम खुश रहेंगे। Obviously everyone is seeking happiness.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. And please, yes, so that was Manju, Dr. Manju Singh for you, my dear friends. And please, ma'am, please keep coming and share your, words. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
keep your daughter also coming.
Yeah, she will be. Yeah, she was so happy. She told me how she was appreciated by everyone here. Thank you so much for your encouragement.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Up next, we also have joined first time my Nataraja MM. I don't know whether he's reading or not, but yes, Nataraja is on deck. So please, Nataraja, please turn on your mic on video and say something. Nataraja MM.
Can you hear me, Prasanna Kumar?
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Yeah, I joined first time. Just my friend told me to join. I just joined.
Yeah. Please turn on your
poem is with her. Actually, I sent it to her. She uploaded here.
Who is it, sir?
That is Sharma. Tilkumari Sharma.
Upload. Tilkumari Sharma is here. So she would be okay. Could you turn on your video? Could you turn on your face? Don't shy away from showing your face.
No. Video.
You recite.
Video on Prasanna Kumar.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So would you be reading or Till would be Till?
Ma'am will read.
Okay, sure.
Ma'am will read.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's such a pleasure having you around. And yeah, please still go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Prasanna ji, may I recite a poem?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I am going to recite a poem which is written by Nataraja because he says that I am inspiration to him. Yeah, so I am happy to see his poem, and I want to announce this brother as the huge and skillful poet who has written about me. Yeah, this poem is. Okay, I titled this poem Inspirational You. Okay. From where you came, don't know, but definitely you an angel of luck and abundance.
Lord Burma creator must have spent previous hours to design beautiful angel like you. Your smile blesses the other's heart to get light and afresh, swinging the mood. Your beauty is everlasting and eternal like Nilambari, an angel of forever youth icon. You Puspa blossoming every day, sunlight, eager to see you, to reach out. Your charisma can toss moving clouds to sprinkle those droplets like holy water. You daughter of King of all lords, Indra, gorgeous Indraja. Your smile is painkiller to heart, and if you talk, it is like music to listen. Your goddess Pani. Okay, in this way, he has written about me because I am inspiration to him. Okay, thank you, brother, who has written those poems, and others are there to me that I am inspiration, or I am the source of inspiration to people. So I'm happy, very happy to read this poem. Okay, so I call him the great poet with a huge personality. Yeah, Nataraja. Thank you for Nataraja and Prasannaji to
Thank
give me
you.
chance to recite a poem. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Til. Thank you. That was a poem written by Nataraja. That's a wonderful poem. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. And, let's move across to our next poet. Our next poet is, she is just, recently she had a bang, what do you call Bangalore Poetry Festival. That's like maybe some kind of workshop that she's been, and she was so lively over there, and I could just watch her on the pictures. So please welcome Jaya Kalayanaraman.
Yeah. Good evening, friends. When I go off the video, it's mainly because my husband is telling me that dinner is ready. So that's why I went off screen for a bit. Now, I'm going to start by singing 2 verses of a poem, of a popular song, before I recite my poem. So I followed close behind her, try to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in her grave. Will this circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Today, the 13th of August, 2023, marks the 29th death anniversary of my mother. So this poem, I've been working on it. It's still a work in progress, but even so, I'm going to read it out. She was just 2 months into her 18th year when she saw our country's flag unfurl. Standing on the lawns of India Gate with loudspeakers blaring, that night felt like heaven on the 14th of August, 1947. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will wake to life and freedom. So said the first Prime Minister of independent India in a Tryst with Destiny speech. Mother was a patriot to the core. Her patriotism on her sleeve she wore. She who was orphaned young and raised in a convent by missionaries, her demeanor was one of confidence, warmth, and giving. Her generosity beyond measure. And at 17 plus, she gave up on her dreams and married the man who chose her for a wife. For a girl from a one-horse town, her adventures began, traveling first to Lahore with her military man. A few rooms of a haveli was her first home, while the rest was occupied by the landlord and his family. The women there showered her with love and care. It's there that she was first introduced to the staple rotis and began to master the art of making fulkas and chapatis. And suddenly the marching orders came when the country was being divided into two. Unlike her excitement at the first train travels, fear and anxiety gripped her on her journey back home. Escorted by gun-toting soldiers, she made her way to the railway station that reeked of blood, fresh and stale. Hers was the most traumatic journey on that last train back home. Over the years, she could bring the partition alive whenever she talked about the birth of a new nation with us, her children, during history revision. The memory did not seem to fade, and the emotions of that journey home left her uncontrollably in pain. Sensitive, caring, brave, and adventurous is how we remember our mother. The eldest daughter inherited her adventurous spirit, while the youngest her generosity. And I, the middle one, mother's ability to chat up with anybody. After a stroke, she lay paralyzed, and 2 years later, the candle burnt out on this day, 29 years ago. We laid the 65-year-old patriot to rest on the 15th of August, 1994. Thank you.
Oh my God, what a description, ma'am. Mind-blowing. Wow. Amazing. That was, you taken us to independence. Made us remember your mother. You recall, it's a kind of tribute. What would I say? I mean, I'm speechless. So beautifully expressed. I could, please, ma'am, we could understand, but yes, she's there.
Yeah, ma'am, very nice poem about the mother. Mother is goddess of our heart here. No temple is needed there. No temple is needed there because mother is goddess herself. We should worship her.
Thank you.
Bali, ma'am.
Yes, mother as patriot, the years that she has described, they were terrible years. They were terrible for this country. So many people died. The trains would go and come back with just dead bodies and pieces of flesh. And, people talk of the men who fought for India's independence, very ordinary people, our mothers, our aunts, they have all been there, having to stand up. And that's why calling her a patriot, I think it's a remarkable poem. Thank you so much. You have woken us up to, realize that, it's not just the names that we know in history books, but innumerable women who gave up their lives. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. You made us move and with this. And I'm sure mother would be, listening to you and listening to us and watching.
Truly, she's a patriot. Truly. One of the best tributes I have ever heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rupali. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Prasanna.
Thank you, ma'am. Please stay on, my dear friends. We have a line of poets coming up. But before that, let me call Gargi Mishra.
Well done.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Admin Mr. Prasanna, for including me in this phenomenal poetic meet. There is nothing like listening to the finest minds across the world. And there is no friend as loyal as book. A book lets you travel without feet. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, thank you. So the title of my poem is Pages of Midlife. After some 40 long years, I found an old book on my rack. Being a bookworm, I was very fond of it. I was taken away with the glimpses of flashback. Amidst degenerating humanity and modernistic illusion, it taught me the basic values and core life lesson. Among chaos, it educated me to restore my reticence through advices and illustrations. Amidst darkness and disillusionment, it was a source of illumination. I remember the smiling face that adorned its cover. I turned pages after pages and found an old peacock feather. Often it was used in our times as a page marker. As I started reading it again, it took me down deeper and deeper. It carved a sweet arch on my lips to recall how I fed grains, the baby feathers I fiddled with my fingertips. After years, it sat like old habits, slightly immovable. I carefully pulled it out. The book was heavy, with pages so powerful. It was capable of squeezing out the inner grief, the bereavement, the longing, the detailed account of rights and wrongs, the highs and lows that age brings. Out of negligence, I never read it carefully. This time, I held it tight with care and read it peacefully. A wilted rose expressed the chapter of jilted relation the best. I remember in my youth, I used to hold it too close to my chest. Its ink of wisdom, always so lively and green. Raw memories popped up so nice and clean. I indulge in the beauty of its glamorous obsolescence. No matter how old, a book diffuses the freshness of adolescence. Only the cover needed to be changed once in a while. I started to look at it in a detached physician's smile. Even though termites ate away the outer edges of the pages, those pages define a book. The book was nothing else but my life. That's all from my side today. Thank you everyone for listening. See you next week and happy Independence Day in advance.
Beautiful, ma'am, beautiful. That was so
Pleasure.
honest, I must appreciate your, being a, what I call a spectator or being an audience, and you've been reader as well. But yes, you've been keenly listening to all the writers and poets, and you've been, what I call like giving your feedbacks. That was so much. I should appreciate you on that. So that was Gargi Mishra for you, my dear friends.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful poem, wonderful.
Everybody has
Thank
a
you.
part in illuminating me. So I'm really indebted to all of you poets. And it's a platform without joining which the week goes in vain, actually, to say the whole week is a waste, I can say. So a lovely meeting you all on this Sunday Poetic Forum. And,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's it from my side. Thank you.
Let's call upon our next poet. Our next poet is, yes, she has her own poetry platform, Sargam, and she keep encouraging poets, keep calling, inviting, introducing, interviewing, whatnot. And she writes in, yes, Hindi, English, and she's a very active, kind of poet. Please welcome Saraswati Poswal.
Good morning. Namaskar, Satsika, Radha, Salam. How are you all doing? Hope you all are doing well. Wishing you all, first of all, K. Kumar Prasanna ji, thank you first of all to you for inviting me to this great show and inspiring me. As you know that from where and how I'm going through and taking up the challenges and events now, coming back to my forum to work now, because life takes you wherever it wants to, but it never stops for anyone, you know. So I have to continue with that. So I want to wish you all a very happy Independence Day to all my friends, nears and dears. So I'll start with my two poems, one in Hindi and one in English today once again. And the title of my poem is हिंदी में है मोहब्बत तिरंगे की। मोहब्बत तिरंगे की सजदे में तेरे सिर को झुका के चल दिए। मोहब्बत तिरंगे की सजदे में तेरे सिर को झुका के चल दिए। ना बोला ना बात ही की, ना बोला ना बात ही की, बस मुस्कुरा के चल दिए। दिस इज अबाउट द सोल्जर। एक सोल्जर की लाइफ के ऊपर है दिस पोएम। सजदे में तेरे सिर को झुका के चल दिए, ना बोला ना बात ही की, बस मुस्कुरा के चल दिए। चिराग आंधियों में जला के चल दिए। चिराग आंधियों में जला के चल दिए। सजदे में तेरे सर को झुका के चल दिए। One soldier says that he's bending on his knees for the love for the flag, for his country. He wants to devote all his life, all his happiness for the pleasure and happiness of the people. Or and the chirag aandhiyon mein chala ke chal diye, like we are going through, if we are going through any critical situation, but the soldier, they keep on smiling and they keep on walking. They keep on sharing these fights on the borders and all. So they keep on smiling there while dying and taking these bullets on their chest. And बेमायने सी थी जिंदगी, बेमायने सी थी जिंदगी, बहाना बना के चल दिए। The life was going useless when we were not soldier, and अब बहाना बना है, we have got a life, and इसी बहाने से हम लोग चल दिए हैं life, we are following the life. सबब उल्फत ना था, सबब उल्फत ना था, फर्ज का जामा पहना के चल दिए। Life में they don't have the meaning of life. Love is only the life, but yes, the love for them is for the people, their country, the tribute for the people. They took this challenge as their duty, for duty ka dress pehna, and they are wearing the dress of duty, and they are following it for the sake of the country and people. सजदे में सिर को झुका के चल दिए। Wherever they meet, और जब भी एक soldier, whenever he dies, उसको क्या किया जाता है, उनको they are tied in the flag. So this is the respect shown to them. पैगाम चुप्पी में वो, पैगाम चुप्पी में वो मुझको सुना के चल दिए। पैगाम चुप्पी में वो मुझको सुना के चल दिए। आगाज एक वतन का था, आगाज एक वतन का था, वो तिरंगे से मोहब्बत में, वो तिरंगे की मोहब्बत में खुद को लुटाते चल दिए। पैगाम चुप्पी का था, there was a message of silence, or that silence they have shared it with people when they were tied in the flag, and that silence told us the whole story of their life. Agaz-e-Watan tha. The story was for the life for the people. They died for the people, country people, और वो तिरंगे की मोहब्बत में खुद को लुटाते चल दिए। हर एक सिपाही महबूब था मेरा, हर एक सिपाही महबूब था मेरा, जो सिर पे गोली खाते चल दिए। Every soldier was my fan. This says the flag. Flag says every soldier was my fan, and they took the challenges bullets on their shoulder, on their chest, and they all died for me, for the love of me, for the love of flag. मोहब्बत तिरंगे से निभाते चल दिए, सजदे में मेरे सिर को झुकाते चल दिए। This way, they all soldiers went. They took all the bullets and they died, or they were in the war, and And in this way, they showed the tribute to love for the people of the country. This was a small poem of mine. Hope you all liked it. Tirange Ki Mohabbat. The title was Tirange Ki Mohabbat. One more poem. Can I start with it, Prasanna ji? Longing trees. Longing trees. Tall trees standing collected with the longing yielded arms. Tall trees standing collected with the longing yielded arms. Welcoming the shining stars. Welcoming the shining stars. Light traveling from all the canopies. Passers by these paths synchronize that these ancient clusters of trees have seen many unprecedented successors and seasons, colors of skies with unconventional collaboration of stars and celebration. Felicitating with the showers of moon, light and sun, serving with smile. They stood like warriors in the floods and thunders. They stood like warriors in floods and thunders, enjoying the showers of rain, winds blowing crisscross to these fringes around. Echoes of every heart can also be heard. Many distinct species served here with shelter. These are the longing trees who are waiting for us all. Thank you.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent. As I said, she always, keeps inspiring and very active as well. So please welcome Saraswati Poswal from Saraswati Sargam platform, and you could all join her.
Thank you so much for listening me. Even I'm listening to everyone from here, from this side. Everyone is so nice. I can't tell you. Okay, thank you so much. Best wishes to everyone. Thank you, Prasanna. Blessings to you. Take care. Bye-bye.
And yes, it is said love is infinite, it cannot be measured, and so her, alter ego, the name of his hair is Love Infinite. And please welcome Dewberry up next. Yes, Love Infinite.
Thank you so much for the platform, Prasanna. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. I am going to first begin with this song. It is called Virgo's Groove by Beyonce, and then I'm going to follow with a poem from my collection, The Fear Project, Volume 1. I'm just going to be reading the lyrics. You are my life, baby, you're the love of my life. Oh, my baby, kiss me warm. Oh, he brought me back tonight. Oh, you make me so bright. Oh, he keeps me tight. That's why just to play. If you got somebody, let's play. You're the love of my life. You're the love of my life. Your love gives me life. Your love gives me life. Don't you ever switch it up. Talk to me nice. You're the love of my life. This song is, it's called again, Virgo's Groove by Beyonce. I dropped the link in the chat. This poem is from my book, my ebook, The Fear Project, Volume 1. And it is called Cacophobia. I am beyond motivated to explore my harsh judgment I'm so wonderfully creative at being hateful when I know I value loving. I want to wash away the perspective that has me bugging and disgusted by bugs. I want to throw away all the evil that was projected on me, all the ugliness. I'm building the courage. I'm finding the tools to see it all as beautiful. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. No words. Such a beautiful voice and beautiful poem, resilient, I would say.
Thank you for the space. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. That was Love Infinity. Hello, you Berry. For you, my dear friends, please give it up. Yes, next up is our moderator who always moderates and allows never fails to respond prompts. Yes, she is Dr. Gangalaxmi Patnaik. Please welcome.
Good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to join in the open recital video program by K. Kumar Prasanna, founder admin Fertile Brains. I wish 77th Happy Independence Day. On the occasion of this happy day, let me recite a poem. Title is Salute to Tricolor. Salute to Tricolor. Never did I know the freedom fighters, nor do I see their patriotic faces. But when India's tricolor flag flies, a deep silence hung to my loneliness. Women who love me without pretense often say that no one believes us. No one takes our weight of use of violence, harmful traditional practices. Women around me say, painful to live without freedom, more painful to get justice delayed, justice denied. But I am convinced our own strength never betray. But I am convinced our own strength never betray. I know despite darkness, cloud or fog, the sun will rise and shine tomorrow, and the women would sing their joyful, blissful song beyond the bank's briars. This recitation is over, and I would like to recite a second poem. Title is Pledge for Freedom. Pledge for Freedom. Woe we shall make this time, not to go away from chronicles. Together we love, cherish, respect one another throughout years, in all circumstances. Pledge go nowhere, like darkness or light, flutter near amidst jasmine smiles. Pledge for trust, love, cry, through good and bad times, regardless of obstacles to achieve goals. Recitation is over. Thanks to you all. Thanking you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for inspiring. And the first poem, I loved it very much. And thank you. Very thought-provoking. 1 second, I would say. Yes. Up next is Laxman Rao, our team member, and very active. And I would say his poems are very much in depth and a style of its own. And beautiful poet, I would say. I have no words for him. So please welcome Laxman Rao after a long time. He's coming to make some noise.
Well, thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for your welcome. Okay. Ma'am Gangalaxmi Patnaik, ma'am, I read your, listened to your voice, your verses, versatile. Thanks for your good style of versifying, poetizing. Thanks a lot, ma'am. So here, Prasanna sir is trying to bring in new words for me, like saying like versatile, this, that, and all. Like I'm very much a normal person, a normal poet. That's what I feel. So coming back to your, like, 1 second, there's something that glitch here. Okay. So I would like to continue my poem here. So the title of the poem is the catharsis. Catharsis. It's called as the catharsis, whereas the pronunciation is catharsis. The spelling, it goes like this: CATHARSIS. Catharsis. In the sense that, like, it's the process of releasing and thereby providing relief for strong repressed emotions within ourselves. The emotions, whatever we carry within ourselves. So it's like releasing those emotions or feelings or thoughts, ideas, whatsoever it is. So that catharsis, I'm trying to get it in a form of a poem. It's a sonnet form. Swing to the every wave of your words. Swing to the every wave of your words as you sway to the rhythm of your rhyme. The bountiful breath and your barefaced body, where every atom of your being vibrates with joy. Sing and dance with your vibrant vibe, with your travelogue tribe to vent yourself. With your travelogue tribe to vent yourself. In the sense, like, we're all travelers with our own tribe, wherein we vent ourselves, like we emote with ourselves, with our own clan and community. That's what I'm saying. Your feelings, emotions, thoughts, and ideas onto the canvas of poetry, with the ease of ecstasy, Okay. To make art, you ought to be artful. To make art, you ought to be artful. To be serene and serendipitous to share. To share the same magic of its manifestation. With your sole source of your sacred crew. In the sense, like, your clan, your crew, it's your sacredness. If at all we have our own our own poetic clan, it's like our own soul space. That's our sacred crew. That's what I mean to say here. Okay. Senses and sensibilities get in sync with our spirits. That which yields to the creative course of catharsis. So I believe, like, I've already explained what catharsis is all about. So that's how it went. I felt like Prabhasastry ma'am was sleeping.
No. That is very insightful, I would say. Yes, you always bring it, So thank you, Laxman Rao sir. Thank you for coming. And
thanks for listening me.
We love to listen you. And yes, definitely. Up next is our wonderful poet who is sweet, very romantic, but young. Inside her is a powerhouse. She is a kind of activist. She roars and rises to the occasions. Please welcome Prabhasastry Jyhosula.
Good evening to everybody. Today, I am reading about Swatandra. శీర్షిక పేరు అభినందనం. ఇది మన దేశం, నా భారతదేశం. ఇది మన దేశం, నా భారతదేశం. మాతృదేశ రక్షణ మాకు కావాలి. క్రాంతికారుల చేత మాట బాటల నుండి భరతమాత పౌరుల్లారా లేవండి, లేచి రండి, మేలుకోండి, ముందుకు రండి. బానిసత్వం విడుదల గుర్తుకు తెచ్చుకోండి. బానిసత్వం విడుదల గుర్తుకు తెచ్చుకోండి. ఎందరెందరో ప్రాణత్యాగ ఫలం స్వేచ్ఛలు గుర్తుకు తెచ్చుకోండి. మన ఈ స్వాతంత్ర దినోత్సవం చిత్తశుద్ధితో చూడాలి. సాహస సమర యోధుల దీక్షలు చెప్పాలి, వినాలి. సాహస సమర యోధుల దీక్షలు చెప్పాలి, వినాలి. ఉజ్వల భవితకు ప్రతీకలుగా మనం మారాలి. సేవా పరమో ధర్మ మంత్రానికి బందిలి అవ్వాలి. సేవా పరమో ధర్మ మంత్రానికి బందీలు అవ్వాలి. దగా కోరుల కోరలు దేశభక్తితో వీరులై విషం పిండాలి. దగా కోరుల కోరలు దేశభక్తితో వీరులై విషం పిండాలి. భుజాన తుపాకీ ఎత్తి గడి రేఖలు దాటాలి. శత్రువుల ఎదలు గడగడలాడించాలి. ప్రబల విశ్వాస జ్వాలతో బుసకొట్టాలి. ప్రబల విశ్వాస జ్వాలలతో బుసలు కొట్టాలి. ఏకరించి ఏకీకృత శక్తిని ప్రదర్శించాలి. స్వాతంత్ర కాక్ష పోరాటాల స్ఫూర్తి ఎన్నడూ సవాలుగా చాటాలి. స్వయం సమృద్ధ ప్రతిభలు నేర్వాలి. స్వయం సమృద్ధ ప్రతిభలు నేర్వాలి. అడుగడుగున నవ నరాన దేశ రక్తం పొంగాలి. జయహో జయహో నినాదాలు చెయ్యాలి. యువశక్తి మీ ఆత్మవిశ్వాసంతో ముందుకు రావాలి. యువశక్తి మీ ఆత్మవిశ్వాసంతో ముందుకు రావాలి. జై భగత్ వినోబాజీ మాటలు హిమవత్ శిఖరాలు దాటాలి. జై జగత్ వినోబాజీ మాటలు హిమవత్ శిఖరాలు దాటాలి. భారతదేశం ప్రపంచ ప్రథమ పీఠం అందుకోవాలి. ఇదే మనందరికీ బలోపేతమై సాగాలి. అరాజకాల అలజడులకు తిలోదకాలు ఇవ్వాలి. అరాజకాల అలజడులకు తిలోదకాలు ఇవ్వాలి. శాంతి సుఖాల పర్వ సుదినం ఆచరించాలి. త్రివర్ణ పతాకం గగనంలో వెళ్ళి విరియాలి. మన త్రివర్ణ పతాకం గగనంలో వెళ్ళి విరియాలి. కోటి వెలుగుల అఖండ దీపమై కోటి వెలుగుల అఖండ దీపమై అభినందనలు చెప్పుకోవాలి. అభివందనలు చెప్పుకోవాలి. ఇదే మన ఆశ. నమస్కారం.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent, Amma. Excellent. Wow. Wonderful presentation. That was an Indian freedom. That was an Indian tribute to India. Maybe that is something she is called upon. So thank you, Amma.
Thank you very much.
Powerful rendition. Laxman Rao sir would like to, maybe react. So few words.
One second. So I'd like to get into that mood of that freedom fight movement, like what Prabhasastry ma'am brought in. Like, so today's generation will not be able to connect to the freedom movement of that time. Like we are enjoying our independence, our liberty, whatever you say, like our freedom of thought and expression, everything. But to get into that mood of those days, it's very difficult. Even to face a moment with a British soldier, to fight against the British force, it's a Herculean task even to feel today. So that was the mood that which Prabhasastry ma'am has brought in. I was just enjoying, like I was just recollecting all those incidents of the moments, because she was reciting in Telugu. Like even I'm being a Teluguite, I could understand and correlate to it. Like most of the people, they might not be understanding Telugu, so it's better like I have conveyed the mood of that freedom movement. And then Amma, ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you, Laxman Rao, sir. Moving on to our next poet. Our next poet is a retired banker, but yes, he's a co-writer of at Horse. So please welcome Shyama Prasad Patnaik.
Good evening, everyone. My thanks to Prasanna sir for inviting me to recite my poems. And happy independence to everyone. So the first poem, which was published in the anthology Verses of Patriotism, the title is Reminiscences. Reminiscences. Reminiscence of freedom struggle ignites my patriotic spirit. Beholding birds flutter wings, hearts wishes to sing. Freedom's aroma mesmerize, keeps me afloat in azure. Sea waves are eager to wash and embrace the motherland. Blooming multi-hued flowers of a floral garden enthralls me. When I see butterflies emerging from their cocoon, I recall how our patriotic predecessors liberated themselves, how soldiers sacrificed their lives for us. When I see rivers flowing in full jest, my mind starts moving like an overflowing river. High-rising mountains and oceans protect our motherland. Our mighty triumvirate armed forces secure its borders. And that is the end of my first poem. Now I'm going to recite my second poem. The second poem's title is Meeting Challenges with Conviction. It's a motivational poem. Life is full of challenges. Numerous hurdles appear every millisecond. Life is like a brook which crosses many hilly terrains. Life is a perennial river, moves without stopping at any point. Enrich your wisdom and refine skills which nurtures positive vibes. We shall encounter many challenges on our life's thorny paths. Challenges, an integral part of human life, we need to overcome. Even if you fall down, do not lament, rather get up. March forward without looking back, as time never stops anywhere. Try to disseminate joy and happiness till your last breaths. Fellow Homo sapiens would cherish your memory even after departure. You can win war of your life only with conviction. Never give up your struggle in the middle of ocean. Self-confidence, perseverance can steer you to reach safe shore. Face adversaries fearlessly and find way out, harnessing ultimate euphoria. And that is the end of my second poem. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was really inspirational and motivational as well, please. And thank you for your spirit of coming and reciting every time. And we love you to have you always. Thank you. That was Shyama Prasad Patnaik, sir, for you, my dear friends. Up next is, yes, future is, what can I say? He's a young poet and he runs a foundation on education, and Glory Future Foundation is his name, and he's from Bangladesh and a very active member, and he promotes poetry, promotes education, the livelihood of children. He's a young chap. Please welcome Syed Khan.
Thank you so much for adding me. I'm so glad to be here. Can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yes, go ahead.
You know that I'm just working on poetry, and through our foundation, we've got a foundation named Glory Future Foundation, where we are working for deprived children here in Bangladesh. and we are working with 600 deprived children, and all as well as we are empowering young generation. I am young, so you know that we are really inviting people and students from all around the world. They are coming and sharing their poetry. So that's how we are spreading poetry, because it's very powerful. You know that, and those who are poet can feel that the power of poetry. So you know that I lost my father 3 years ago, and from that moment I started writing poetry and reciting. Also, I'm trying to spread poetry among students, because lots of students, they don't love poetry, and our job is to spread poetry so that they can love it and write their feelings on their paper. So that's what I'm really trying from my side. So thank you. This is my first time here on this platform. I'm so glad to see you, all of the poets. I'm so blessed, because whenever I see poetry, and any place, anywhere I stand, and then I listen, and because I love it. I love it. And it doesn't matter that what language you are using in reciting poetry. I always believe that poetry, there is no barriers of poetry, and in any language you can feel poetry. So I've just been listening to all of your poems, and I love that. Actually, I love that. And so now I'm going to recite a Bangla poem. You know that this poem is absolutely tragic poem, and about a man who just wanted to be bright like his friends, but he couldn't, because in Bangladesh and lots of the parts of country, that people, they used to have a great desire in their life, but in the future they couldn't, and they suffer a lot and thinking about the past. And so this is the poetry, like, so I'm going to recite. And this poetry has written Narendra Chakraborty, and he's a great writer. অমলকান্তি আমার বন্ধু, স্কুলে আমরা একসঙ্গে পড়তাম। রোজ দেরি করে ক্লাসে আসতো, পড়া পারতো না। শব্দরূপ জিজ্ঞেস করলে এমন অবাক হয়ে জানালার দিকে তাকিয়ে থাকতো যে দেখে ভারী কষ্ট হতো আমাদের। আমরা কেউ মাস্টার হতে চেয়েছিলাম, কেউ ডাক্তার, কেউ উকিল। অমলকান্তি এসব কিছু হতে চায়নি, সে রোদ্দুর হতে চেয়েছিল। ক্ষান্ত বর্ষণ, কাকডাকা বিকেলের সেই লাজুক রোদ্দুর, জামার জামরুলের পাতায় যা নাকি অল্প একটু হাসির মতো লেগে থাকে। আমরা কেউ মাস্টার হয়েছি, কেউ ডাক্তার, কেউ উকিল। অমলকান্তি রোদ্দুর হতে পারেনি, সে এখন অন্ধকার একটা ছাপাখানায় অন্যায়ের শিকার হতে হতো। ডাক্তার সেই অবধি ভাব Thank you.
Oh my God, Syed.
It's
Souls like you needed this world. And you're the future and you're the present leader, I would say. What a beautiful presentation, what a wonderful voice, and what a set of performance, I would say.
yes,
Wonderful.
superb. In fact, I want to share with you that this poem, Amal Kanti, translated into English, is part of the English reader course in Delhi University. And I have taught this in a classroom. And it's a beautiful poem about a young man who didn't want to be a doctor, he didn't want to be an engineer, he didn't want to be a teacher, he wanted to be sunshine. He wanted to be sunshine. It's a beautiful poem. Thank you so much. And what a wonderful voice you have.
Exactly, man.
Baba!
Thank you, Syed. Thank you for joining. And it was so lovely having you. And it was such a pleasure, And please keep coming and keep inspiring, on your, what do you call, on your, what do you call it?
Thank you so much. I'm gonna read another
Sorry, Syed, there is an issue of, the connection, or maybe from my side or you said, I don't know, but cannot hear you properly. Maybe next week. But anyways, thank you, Syed. Thank you for coming. Yes, up next we have yes, yet another wonderful Bengali poem. I couldn't say, we could not, say that, but yes, it's a wonderful poet and very busy. Mili Das, please welcome Mili Das.
Nice to meet with all of you. Good evening to all of you. Now I am going to, if there will be any chance, I want to read 2 poems. Is it okay? Now I am going through the first poem. The name of the poem, Significant Chapter. This poem is about Rishi Aurobindo. The thought of homeland has crept into your mind. Although sweetness and beauty is the goal of your life, you are the one who say, let there be freedom, movement with arms. What a beautiful parable you have given to the world with your knowledge. You have seen religion, politics, sociology, and the true meaning of life. To say, as there is no definition of God, there is no definition of poetry. We came to know the mind of light, the human cycle and the life divine, the Savitri and the secret of Vedas. You told how to pick up Gita and arms together. In the history of India's independence, struggle and spirituality, Rishi Aurobindo is a significant chapter. This was my first poem, and now I am going through my second poem. This poem I have written to Adam publication in Bangladesh. At the night, I was written this poem, Chokhe Name Bhor. This is a Bengali poem of me. রাত যত বাড়ে আমার চোখে নেমে আসে ভোর, পৃথিবী শান্ত হয়ে ঘুমিয়ে থাকে, আমি জেগে থেকে দেখি নিস্তব্ধ রাতের মায়াবী চেহারা। রাত যত বাড়ে আমার চোখে নেমে আসে ভোর, ঝুল বারান্দায় দাঁড়িয়ে দেখি মুক্তিযোদ্ধারা চেয়ে আছে আমার দিকে। ওরা বলে, ভালোবাসা নিয়ে ফিরিয়ে দিও না। রাত যত বাড়ে লালনের গান বেজে ওঠে না আমার প্রাণে। কুয়াশার আড়াল থেকে বাংলা ভাষার অক্ষরগুলো জড়িয়ে ধরে আমায়। ঠিক তখনই চোখে নেমে আসে ভোর, রাত যত বাড়ে মৃত্যুর দরজা থেকে ফিরে আসে বিপ্লবী মন, ঝিঙের মাচায় ফোটে ফুল, বরকতের রক্তের মাঝে দেখি কমলা রোদের আভা, বৃক্ষ ছায়ার মাঝে জীবন্ত হয়ে ওঠে ক্ষুদিরামের জবানবন্দি। ঠিক তখনই উপন্যাসের শেষ পংক্তিটি মনের কোণে তোলে গুঞ্জন, ধুলোমাখা এসরাজে বাজে সুর, বুকের ভেতর মেঘের মতো ভেসে বেড়ায় নক্ষত্রেরা। আমি পৃথিবীর পথে পথে ঘুরে বেড়াই এক আদিম আকর্ষণের নেশায়। ঠিক তখনই আমার চোখে নেমে আসে ভোর। ধন্যবাদ সকলকে। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ টু অল অফ ইউ।
Yes, I always love about your this, presentation. You always read this, his sound comes up, and it's so beautiful. It enhances the beauty of reading. So I love it, and the Bengali poem, such a beautiful, so beautiful, man. Thank you for coming, and thank you for presenting it. Too beautiful poem. That was me, just for you, my dear friends. Please give it up. And next, we are reaching towards the end of the show, but not without listening to Renukuntla Murali, who is a folk singer, writer, songwriter in English, Telugu. Please welcome Renukuntla Murali.
So good evening, all, sir. So I would like to recite my poem, sir. This is one of the poems written by me. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Sir,
Hello?
Please,
Okay.
go ahead.
So when I have been in hospital, I got major surgery. But after that surgery only, at that time I got 45 stitches, sir, due to that rectal operation, a large tumor found in my stomach. And after that only, the first meeting I met you, sir. I have been continuing my journey with you. Literary works in Telugu as well as English. The grace of God and you, all the poets, sir. It is one of the poems, sir. I would like to recite the poem. Afterward, complete this one, I would like to sing a song which is written and acted by our great legend Gadarana, because our friends and our colleagues and all of our beloved friends call me Vidava Gadarana, Junior Gadar. Okay, sir? Please. The title of the poem is Outside My Window. Because when I have been in the hospital, Hyderabad, I saw the moon, the stars shining in the sky, whether they were touching my head. The people were busy with their works. School children were busy fighting with their books. Businessmen were busy with their business. Everyone was busy with their works. All these were under the thumb of the window. I listened to the buzzing sounds of the bees, sucking the honey sound of the birds chirping, raindrops on my hands when I stretched my hands outside of my window. I saw the passengers waiting for the train and going by side of my hospital. Heavy producing carbon monoxide polluted the air by vehicles. The greenery was destroyed. The nature was full of pollution. The people and living beings were facing many problems that could lead to death. The sky is so high that I could not touch high. The birds were playing together. I wanted to catch them, but I couldn't. But I couldn't succeed as I was unhealthy. I was unable to move from the bed. I listened the melody sounds from somewhere, but it was in vain. As I could not reach there. See, at least there. Could not move from the bed. God is great. God is great. He's a great creator as well as the destroyer. He can do anything but plenty of air is there. Beautiful nature is there. Everything is available in the world, but let us use it and save it and save the lives of others, not only by us. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, Gaddaranna, I can speak in Telugu, sir. Gaddaranna, he is a great legend and popular to not only our India, but also world. So one of his songs, lyrics, I would like to one each one, sir. నన్ను గన్న తల్లులార తెలంగాణ పల్లెల్లార నన్ను గన్న తల్లులార తెలంగాణ పల్లెల్లార పాదాలకు వందనాలమ్మో మాయమ్మలార పాటనై వస్తున్నానమ్మో మాయమ్మలార నన్ను గన్న తల్లులార తెలంగాణ పల్లెల్లార పాదాలకు వందనాలమ్మో మాయమ్మలార పాటనై వస్తున్నానమ్మో మాయమ్మలార మీ గోసి మీ గొంగలి మీ గజ్జలు గట్టుకొని గల్లు గల్లు ఆడవస్తున్నా మాయమల్లార పల్లె పల్లె పాడవస్తున్నా మాయమల్లార. One more song, sir. It is written in the cine field and cinema. పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దు పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దు మీద ఓహో నడుస్తున్న కాలమా కోరు తెలంగాణమా అదిగో ఆ కొండలో మా తెంగు చూస్తే ఎర్రడు భగవంతుడేవాడు సూర్యుడు. ఆ ఉదయించే సూర్యునితో పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దుతో పోటీ పడి నడుస్తుంది కాలం. అలా కాలంతో నడిచిన వాడు కదిలిపోతాడు. ఓ పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దు వందనం వందనం. ఆ పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దు మీద నడుస్తున్న కాలమా పోరు తెలంగాణమా పోరు తెలంగాణమా కోట్లాది ప్రాణమా పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దు మీద నడుస్తున్న కాలమా పోరు తెలంగాణమా పోరు తెలంగాణమా కోట్లాది ప్రాణమా బల 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 పొడుస్తున్న పొద్దు మీద నడుస్తున్న కాలమా పోరు తెలంగాణమా కోరు తెలంగాణమా కోట్లాది ప్రాణమా. అమ్మ భూతల్లి జన్మడిచిన తల్లి నీకు వందనం వందనం. భూతలు చిగురించే కొమ్మలు చిదిమేసిన పువ్వులు హా మా భూములు మాకేనని మల్లబడ్డ గానమా తిరగబడ్డ మల్లబడ్డ గానమా తిరగబడ్డ రాగమా. పొద్దు తిరుగుడు పువ్వులేమో పొద్దును ముద్దాడే పొద్దు తిరుగుడు పువ్వులేమో పొద్దును ముద్దాడే తొలి పొద్దును ముద్దాడే అడవిలో ఎన్నెలమ్మ ఆకులు ముద్దాడే చిగురాకులు ముద్దాడే ఏలో ఏలో ఎలియా హెలా ఎలియా హెలా ఏలో ఏలేలేలు ఓ ఏలో ఏలేలేలు ఓ పొద్దు తిరు పూలేమో పొద్దును ముద్దాడే పొద్దును ముద్దును ముద్దాడే అడవిలో వెన్నెలమ్మ ఆకులు ముద్దాడే చిగురాకులు ముద్దాడే ఓలే ఓలే ఒలియ హోలా ఒలియ హోలా ఓలే 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 ఓలేలో పొడి 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 ముగమో గొంతును ముద్దాడే కొయ్యిల గొంతును ముద్దాడే పిల్లయేరు పారుతున్న నీటిని ముద్దాడే ఓలే ఓలే ఒలియ హోలా ఓలే ఓలే ఒలియ హోలా ఓలే ఓలేలో ఓలే ఓలేలో. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That is a brilliant tribute to the revolutionary writer.
Thank you for this opportunity, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Those
sir. Thank you.
songs were written by him, very well presented with his piercing voice by Murali Renukuntla. Please give it.
So thank you, wonderful. Thank you very much, wonderful, for your blessing and encouragement.
Thank you. That was the end of the show. I think I don't have that fits that, but yes, here is for you all. Mera Bharat. सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, जिस देश में मैं हूँ फिर भी प्यारा, खुशबू वतन की मेरे खींचे अपनी ओर। मिट्टी है मेरी मातृभूमि की अपूर्व, अद्वितीय है उसकी गरिमा, उसकी ना है किसी अन्य देश से तुलना। अपार और अद्भुत संस्कृत मेरे वतन की शान, भिन्नता में एकता उसका निशान। अनेक धर्म अनेक भाषाएं फिर भी बंधन है अटूट, हर चेहरे पर एक ही हंसी भाईचारे की, लड़ते झगड़ते फिर भी माँ के आंचल में फिर से मिल जाते। सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, रहो तुम जहां भी, खुशबू उनकी खींचे अपनी ओर। उसके आलिंगन में हूँ, उसके आलिंगन में है सुकून, कहाँ मिलेगा इतना वात्सल्य माँ की गोद के समान। प्यार ही प्यार मेरे वतन के सीने में, अन्नदाता है सारा आलम का। कैसे कहूँ दो शब्दों में, कहाँ समेट कर मेरी अल्प बुद्धि से करूं वर्णन। खुशबू भारत भूमि की, उसमें हूँ मगन बनकर नादान, उसमें हूँ मगन बनकर नादान। मेरे भारत। धन्यवाद। Okay, happy.
We join you in that sentiment, Prasanna. Your sentiment is ours too, and we join you in this Bharat Mata's, tribute to her. I especially want to mention that today, I'm sitting in a home which is in, Kargil hero Vijayan Thapar lived here next door to my house. He was a little boy, and he was very naughty, and his father would say that he's going to, bring disgrace to us, the way he behaves. And then when he was the first person who died in the Kargil war, 50,000 people came to pay him tribute. Today, this colony where I live, it's called Gulmohar Park. It used to be called, now it's called Vijayan Thapar Colony, Vijayan Enclave. The road ahead is also named after him. His parents lived here. His father climbed that so many, Colonel Thapar climbed the mountain where his son died just 2 years ago. And so I'm staying in a very hallowed place. So our tributes, and that the tribute that you've given, Prasanna, is from all of us. Thank you so much. And also your tribute to your mother, who's a patriot. I'll never forget that poem. It's a beautiful poem. Thank you so much.
I would say it is kind of togetherness.